Hello, and welcome to the Will Leitch Show. I am the aforementioned Will Leitch, and I thank you for spending part of your day with me. Today's show is about obsessive and illogical fandom. So right after college, I moved to Los Angeles to work as a film critic. Now, I was, shockingly, I know, a bit of a loser, and all I ever did in Los Angeles was go to movies. There's a group of guys, only guys, sad, lonely guys, who would all go to the movies all weekend and then stay up all night talking about them together. We were obsessed. And one guy I loved talking to in particular. He was funny, smart, mature, and passionate, particularly about the franchise he confessed to love the most, Star Wars. I was envious. I wish I loved anything the way he loved movies and Star Wars. That guy turned out to be Rian Johnson, writer and director of The Last Jedi, a film that I feel is terrific, but many Star Wars diehards found somehow an insult to and refutation of the entire franchise. Now, those people are wrong, obviously, and I think they're wrong because they have a fundamental misunderstanding of what movies and Star Wars movies are supposed to do. They're not supposed to just tell the same story over and over or to try to make you relive the experiences you had when you were a kid exactly the way you had them. They're supposed to find new ways to tell new stories about new people. They're supposed to be about change. But as I've learned as I've gotten older, most fans of anything, of sports, movies, of music, of politics, of life really, don't really want change. They want to be told something they already believe in a way that reinforces that belief, not challenges it. Now, there's a certain age when men, and it's always men, essentially want their interactions with popular culture to be frozen. It's roughly between like 12 and 16. After that, if sports or movies or whatever evolve beyond that point, they don't find it to be progress. They feel like something is being taken away from them. You see this perhaps most in baseball, actually, where baby boomers have been doing this for decades. I know Bob Costas and Billy Crystal would like us to believe that baseball peaked in 1961 and that all athletes, of course, all they took back then was Ovaltine and Brill Cream. But they're wrong, and that they are encouraged to be the stick-in-the-mud traditionalists is actually hurting the game, much like those crazy Star Wars fans who want Luke Skywalker to be He-Man are hurting that whole franchise. It is toxic. Part of loving something is recognizing that it's supposed to change, that that's how it gets better. That's how you get other kids to love it the way that you did when you were a kid. Hating on baseball today, or The Last Jedi, is just frankly being a little baby who wishes the world were exactly the way it was the moment you started paying attention to it. It's not. It's better now. It is on you to understand that, or to please get out of the way. Joining me today is the beloved star of Clueless, Scrubs, and the new series Star Wars Resistance. Please welcome Donald Faison.
Hello, everyone.
Sir.
Hey, getting
Thank
up.
you.
Standing ovation.
Of course, exactly. It can
Standing
be much.
ovation.
Yeah. I know. This is like a, we had to hire a lot of people to come in and do this.
How are you?
I'm very well, thank you. Thank you for coming on
They
and
told me
playing
to
around
sit
with
in
me.
the middle. Let me
Yes.
sit in the middle.
Yeah, they're very stringent about where you sit. It's
Yes.
Very, I love the desk scenario here because I'm always a little taller. It gives me a little.
It's all good.
It makes me good. Okay, so I want to talk generally about Star Wars. So obviously you're a huge fan of Star Wars.
Huge
And the Star Wars everything seems to be a little bit in flux because The Last Jedi, there was a lot of backlash to The Last Jedi, and then Solo. A lot of people like Solo. I like Solo.
I love Solo.
They didn't like financially. I think there were some concerns about it. I'm curious, as a Star Wars person now involved in a Star Wars thing, where are you in the world of, what do you think the state of Star Wars is now? What do you want to see next for them to do?
I think we're in a great place when it comes to the state of Star Wars.
Okay.
You know, I think it's unknown now, and nobody knows what's going to happen next. No one knows what's going to happen next, and that's great. You know, I think, when The Last Jedi came out, we all had our preconceived notions of what was going to happen.
Yes, and he definitely imploded those notions.
Right. In the first 5 minutes.
Yeah. Yes.
He was like, no, that's not what's going to happen.
You know that lightsaber that was the big thing?
Right. Just gone. Right. Within seconds of the movie starting. I think the crawl happened. And then the lightsaber got thrown. But so I think Star Wars is in a great state right now. Because when you really think about it, we have 2 years until the next movie comes out. In this next 2 years, everybody's going to get so excited and anxious for it. There'll be so much anxiety waiting for this movie to come out. And I think I think Star Wars is fine.
Okay,
I think Star Wars is fine.
I think they're gonna be able to hang it on.
Yeah, I think they'll be all right.
Okay. And your Star Wars Resistance. Welcome to the Resistance.
Thank you very
I feel
much.
Like I always try to encourage people in this tumultuous time to
Right.
be a part of the Resistance. This is something you've been wanting to do this for like a really long time. This is
My whole life.
Goal to be in the Star Wars universe.
Absolutely, and I just wanted to be in it as an actor or you know what I mean, a character.
Right.
My name is now in Star Wars.
I know you're canon.
My name is now canon. Hype Faison. That's the character. How can you beat that? How can you? That's the best.
Yeah.
That was the. Listen, when I found that out, that was the best day ever. I still, it took a long time for me to tell my wife that I was doing Star Wars, because they make you sign an NDA.
Right. How long was that? How long did you have to keep silent?
I could have told her, but I decided not to because I didn't want to risk it. But I waited about 4 or 5 months.
Wow, and it was locked. You knew it was happening.
And I knew it was official. I had even gone in and done the recording. I found out that the character's name was Hype Faison.
Oh, wow.
All of this stuff, and I was like, I don't want to say anything.
I would be like jumping out of my skin.
I don't want to say anything. Yeah, and then I broke finally, and I was like, all right, look. And I'm gonna get fired for this probably. But
Oh, you're okay to talk about it now, right? You're deputized to talk about it. I was
right.
hoping we would be able.
But no, but it was the best day of my life. It was the best day of my life.
And now it's out. Like now it's a thing. It's like now this is official. Like that's what I think about a lot. I remember you see all the actors, like whether it's Samuel L. Jackson back in the day or Simon Pegg with the new movies. They're just so excited to be. I think when Daniel Craig playing the Stormtrooper.
Right. He's got a mask on.
Yeah, you don't even know it's him.
Out of
he
his
was
mind.
so excited to be in it because of that. So do you feel like you've done obviously a lot of great things in your career, but this feels like now it's.
I feel like I've arrived.
Now it's
like
worth it. Now it's worth it.
It's always been worth it, but this is why I became an actor. You know what I mean? I wanted to be in Star Wars. That was the purpose of becoming an actor. And now I have to find purpose again.
Yeah, yes, yeah. It's over. Just
hey,
don't go.
Hey, whatever.
But and it's good because this is now because you get to do this. Like this is. Like this, you have this forever. Like that to me is what I always think about Star Wars. Right. Is that like once, like I have kids. They're 6 and 4.
Okay.
And they like Star Wars is just going to be a part of their lives forever.
Yeah.
And it will like I think the Wired called it the forever franchise. It's a forever franchise. Like no matter what, you have it for the rest of your life.
Yeah. For the rest of their lives. And I kind of pushed it on my kids too. Like
of course.
they didn't have to see Star Wars. I could keep it away from them. I didn't do that. I pushed them right into the fire. Here you go.
Yeah, I feel like my kids would not have to watch Star Wars, but they would just have to live somewhere else.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely. Just not in the house.
It's fine if they can get a job and pay their own rent. I encourage them to do so.
Perfect.
Okay, so we have a section we call frivolous questions of dubious import.
Okay.
So these are specific questions written for you, Donald Faison. So first off, do you get a trophy for playing in the NBA All-Star Celebrity Challenge? Do you get does it get intense? Have you ever like?
It does get intense.
Yeah, it looks intense.
It does get intense. I'm smiling in that picture.
Yeah, you don't look intense.
Right.
They look very.
But these two were about to go at it.
Yeah.
I will say this. It's a lot of fun to play in these games. I can't do it anymore. I'm just a little too old now.
Yeah.
I'm like 44 years old.
Sneaks up on us, man. Yeah, like I blinked and
all of a sudden.
Yeah, it's like those Before Sunrise movies. It's just like I blinked and it just.
Right, and it was
9 years is over.
Right, and sunset's here.
Exactly. Like now they're married and they're fighting. It's so confusing. I'm gonna talk some Knicks stuff with you.
Okay.
Okay. Do you think the Knicks should trade for Jimmy Butler?
He's a free agent next year.
Yeah, to me that's the argument against it.
I mean,
that's the Carmelo mistake, right? That was the mistake they made with Carmelo.
And then we had to pay Carmelo so much money.
And got rid of all the players that would have been his teammates.
Right. And so we got rid of David Lee for Carmelo. We got rid of
Wilson Chandler.
Danilo, Gallinari.
Gallinari. Oh, that's why I gave him a French laugh for some reason. I think you hold off.
I don't think we should trade for Jimmy Butler.
Are you one of the Durant hopefuls? Maybe because that's
Is that what he's saying?
Well, he's not saying
How
anything.
would you leave Golden State to come to New York?
Well, I think Durant's thing is, he's always kind of going to be seen as the guy that jumped on the bandwagon with the Warriors. It's always going to be Steph's team or Clay's team or Draymond's team, and he obviously is great. But if he wants to truly be the great superstar, he needs to do it. That's the theory.
Yeah, listen, if any NBA player wants to be a truly great superstar, go someplace like the New York Knicks.
Yeah,
that hasn't won in over 40 years. If you can save that franchise, you will be most likely in the Hall of Fame.
Yeah, I feel like in a world where the Chicago Cubs have won the World Series, the next thing is the Knicks.
Knicks have to win. Yeah,
like that's the thing. Like that's the big story that makes the cover of every.
Absolutely. Because is there an NBA team that's never won a championship? The Kings, maybe.
Yeah, I think like the Timberwolves. Like,
but who cares?
Right. Like it's so cold.
Come on.
I think they play in a mall.
Right. They're not the biggest sports market in the world. New York is.
They don't have James Dolan. Okay, well, maybe that's okay. That's not so good. Okay, do you worry someday that we talk about things that happen in the future? Star Wars will be going forever. I don't know about you, because my kids are really into the Fortnite dances. They don't play the game, but they know the dances.
They know the dances.
And I'm told that your dance is in fact part of the Fortnite.
It is. Look at that.
Yeah.
Bop, 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 bop.
Did they holler? Did they let you know that?
I found out through the internet that I was that I was a part of the Fortnite family.
Like there are little kids that are going to be doing this dance, not knowing Scrubs at all, and just knowing that this weird
it's the
night
Fortnite
character.
There's a lot of people that are doing the dance right now and have no idea.
Have no idea it's from there.
Where it comes from, and then when they see this when they're grown ups, they're like, "Wait, that looks like the Fortnite dance."
Yeah, they're going to be like,
"He did the Fortnite dance on Scrubs."
This dude on this TV show is doing the Fortnite
totally
dance.
biting the Fortnite dance.
That is a weird place to be. I'm curious. If you had to, I want to talk a little Scrub stuff because we don't talk Scrubs. If you had to, at this particular moment, because I've seen the commercial, the Cigna commercial, where you and the other TV doctors, is there any sort of surgery at all that you could perform on me right now? Like
if I had to.
If you had to, minor, like
I could give you stitches probably.
You could give me stitches. That's amazing. So you actually could give me.
If you had an open wound and it wasn't bleeding anymore.
Right. It was someone else cleaned it up.
Right. I could probably.
You think you could do it? Could you do that before you were on Scrubs, or is that just something you learned on set?
I think it's something I learned on set because they had so much pigskin.
Yeah. Oh, right.
So you have to stitch it together.
Yeah.
And I played a surgeon on the show, so I would have to stitch it together.
So you actually did. So you actually could. Okay. So you do that.
It wouldn't be pretty.
No,
I'm gonna be honest with you.
I'm not asking for that.
It's not a plastic surgeon stitch.
I've got a gaping wound. I'm not gonna beg.
I'll close that up.
Yeah, there's
I might
nobody
even close
else
it up
here.
with some crazy glue.
That would be fun. That'd be fun to watch. That would be. I could ask the staff to do that. I would expect a trained surgeon like yourself to be able to handle
on how
that.
much time we have before you pass out from all the blood you're losing.
Okay, we have a game we want to play, but I have one question I want to ask you before I ask every guest this question. It's a tumultuous time in America and the world, and only serious men like you and I are able to really kind of solve it. And I'm curious, are we going to be okay? It's important for me. It feels like the world's burning sometimes, and I need some reassurance because my children are too young to give me any reassurance. Right. All they want is food, and so I'm looking for wise people like yourself, surgeons of open wounds, to be able to tell me that it's going to be okay.
I think we're going to be okay.
You think so?
I hope so.
Okay. I also hope so. But are we?
So. I mean, you never know. The world is the world. You know what I mean? Things change, and tomorrow's tomorrow, and it's not promised. So, but I think we're gonna be okay.
Okay,
it just got really dark.
I know. I ask the question all the time.
Did the lights dim?
No, you helped. You did legitimately help me. Okay, so we have a game. Of course, you famously, the Turk and JD were best friends on Scrubs. So I have a little. It's not so much a game as much as you will give a value judgment. We're calling it the Better Bromance. Okay. I'm going to put a Star Wars related bromance up against a sports related bromance, and you let me know which is in your opinion, the more powerful. The more powerful brands.
You got it.
From this all. Okay, first up is Poe and Finn from the new Star Wars movies, and Derek Jeter and Jorge Posada.
Jorge Posada and Derek Jeter.
Oh, you think they're stronger?
I mean, that's a lot of chips right there.
Yeah.
That's a lot of World Series right there.
Yeah, but look at how they're looking.
And they came up through the minors together.
Yeah, I know.
You know what I mean? That's like.
They give that hug and they do that like look when they run across each other in Force Awakens.
Yeah, I mean, but they survived and escaped from the First Order, so I understand that.
Oh, so you don't? Yeah, so you right.
But I mean, these guys have been through the trenches together. Okay. They fought together in one battle.
Right. That is totally
and
fair,
not even a battle. And not even a battle.
Yeah, right.
They fought together. Yeah. Well, I guess it was a bunch of battles. There's 3 battles.
That was really
total.
just they hadn't seen each other in a while.
Right.
And
And they really didn't know each other that well.
That's true. These are okay.
And he stole his jacket.
Man, my fanfic that I've written about Poe and Finn feels very silly now. Okay, next up is C-3PO and R2-D2, or famous radio duel Mike and the Mad Dog. Who is a more powerful?
3PO and R2.
Yeah, there's
I like Mike and the Mad Dog with 3PO and R2.
And, as I get older, I don't know if this is weird. I notice C-3PO's codpiece. Like, it feels more prominent to me than it was when I was a
Just
kid.
got a little bit older in here.
Yeah,
guys.
sorry.
I've noticed that 3PO has gained a little weight.
Yeah, he's getting a little thick.
He's thin right there.
That's true. It's true. He's got also that weird red arm now. I don't know what that's about.
What's that about?
I'm just gonna toss in. Okay, Han Solo and Lando Calrissian, somewhat battling sometimes, and Bill Belichick and Tom Brady.
I'm gonna have to go Han.
Yeah.
And Lando.
Yeah. They've got
that's the two most popular galactic hustlers in the whole galaxy.
Right.
I mean,
and they kind of I always wondered they might not even like each other. Like they've worked together.
Yeah,
but they had some scuffles.
I'm a Giants fan.
Yeah,
so
screw those guys.
Who cares about the Patriots?
Screw those guys.
Other than the people that live in New England.
Yeah.
Han Solo and Lando, they got history. I mean, they share a ship.
Yeah, you can upset people in New England. They're totally rational and cool about everything when it comes to sports.
When it comes to sports?
Yeah, they're awesome. They're perfect.
I've learned that the people from New England do not like the people from New York.
Yeah, they're
when it comes to sports.
When it comes to sports, and I don't think they really like a lot, to be honest. Right. Okay, a couple more. So Han Solo again, and his romance triangle with Chewbacca, and Michael Jordan and Scottie Pippen. This is a tough one. This is the top tier. These are the Glengarry leads.
These are the
these are the top ones.
The Glengarry leads.
These are the top ones. These are the big dogs.
I got the Glengarry leads.
Yeah.
I hate to dish you, Han and Chewie, but I'm gonna have to go Mike and Scotty.
They're the full deal.
That's the real deal, Holy. That is, I mean, maybe that's the reincarnation of Han and Chewie. It just doesn't fit better than those two. Those two together, that's like asking me if Magic and Kareem.
Yeah.
That's just, I mean,
you
don't get that type of magic, that type of cohesiveness as those two. I mean, the closest thing would have to be Han Solo.
Yeah, they're close. I'm trying to figure out who the Rodman is in that situation. I don't know if
wow.
Star Wars Rodman.
Who's a Star Wars Rodman?
Jar Jar, maybe. Just
wow.
Yeah.
Maybe. Well, I mean, Jar Jar did his job.
He did. Rodman got some boards. Okay, and last one. You may be familiar with these people. Turk and JD, who are not actually part of the Star Wars universe.
Yeah, we are.
But I'm sorry, yes, you are. And you are. And Dwayne Wade and LeBron James. Who are?
I would go Turk and JD.
Yeah.
I would go Turk and JD before Mike and Scotty. Actually,
they're the
I
first.
think that's the official. I mean, you can't beat that bromance.
Right. Yeah.
You could go Matt and Ben. You could go. You could go on with whomever it is that you love.
Statler and Waldorf.
Yeah,
Siskel and Ebert.
No. It's Turk and JD.
Right. Okay.
That's the
Turk
best.
And JD.
I mean, that's the definition of a good bromance.
Yeah, it is. It's a beautiful thing, and you guys still seem to be like it feels like Star Wars. It is the forever franchise. It will go on forever.
Turk and JD's friendship.
Turk and JD's, yeah.
I agree with that. It's forever. It's forever, baby.
It is a beautiful.
It's forever, baby.
Okay, so the show is Star Wars Resistance. Welcome to the Resistance.
Thank you very much. We air the 7th of October.
7th of October. Okay.
That's Sunday night, 10 o'clock.
10 o'clock.
And you get 2 episodes that night. Well, the pilot episode. Right. But if you really want a sneak peek at some more episodes, you can go to Disney Now and watch
them.
4 episodes.
I was kind of hoping you might have it in your pocket.
Oh,
I was excited for a second.
4 episodes on Sunday morning.
4 episodes Sunday morning. So this is. Will you watch them? Have your kids watch them? Are they?
I have seen them.
Yes.
I haven't shown anyone in my family.
And you're excited. You're not like.
Are you kidding me?
Yeah. I mean, they're good, right? If they were really bad though,
if they were really bad, it'd be hard to sit here and sell it.
Right.
This is good Star Wars.
Yeah, I'm very excited.
This is very good Star Wars.
And you are canon forever. That is very, very exciting.
And my name is Canon Forever.
Canon forever. That would be.
Well, not my real name.
Yeah.
My name is Faison, but
yeah.
Canon Forever.
Yes. Canon Forever.
You know what I
would be
mean?
A weird name.
Canon Forever would be the funniest name ever.
Canon Forever.
What's your name? Canon.
Canon Forever.
What's your last name? Forever.
Forever. I like that idea. I would just like to be known as Canon. That sounds okay.
That's a great. Well, there is one man named Canon.
Yeah.
Nick.
Right? Yeah, but it's her last name. Anyway, this.
He likes to be called Cannon.
Yeah, Dr. Cannon if you're nasty, like Mr.
Cannon if you're nasty.
Thank you to our guest Donald Faison, and thanks to you all for watching. Please return next time to SITV. Okay, so I know you thought we were done, but I have a surprise for you.
What?
I have a surprise for you. An old friend. Please welcome old friend, star of Stand Against Evil. It's John C. McGinley. Look who's here.
I love Donald. I love Donald. I love Donald. I love Donald.
And I spilled my
That's
coffee.
okay.
I
You're so
love Donald. I love Donald. I love Donald. I love Donald.
Johnny.
Wow. This is
That's how I roll.
That's
That
what's
was-
up.
Donald has more talent in his left pinky than I have
No.
in the entire ancestral
Johnny, your
history
resume
of John C. McGinley.
speaks differently.
This is a
You've been
very-
in every movie that's ever come out.
I'd get a rant, I'd study it over the weekend, and then for 12 hours a day, Saturday, Sunday, Monday morning, I'd get there, there'd be rewrites, and then they'd hand Donald something, and he would crush the whole episode. And I'm
Wow.
like, okay, great, I'm glad I spent 12 hours of my life trying to memorize this random list, and then Donald comes on, and he's just like, I just took the scene.
No,
I now
no,
own you, Johnny C. I just took the scene. Like, great.
And we know that's not true. Johnny would get monologues about the size of this right here and have to learn them within a couple of hours. I'd get monologues about this big and have
But
to
then you
learn-
turned them in something that was more impactful than my 2 pages.
Not even a little.
Thank you very much.
I disagree 100%.
And I had, every year they gave us a little allowance to do, Disney gave us a little allowance to do something with our dressing room, because it was a hospital. And your room was a hospital room where people were born and where people expired.
yes,
Right.
of course.
And so, you know, you could buy some candles, you could put a fresh paint, a coat of paint. I had mine soundproofed, and I'll tell you why.
You were right next door to me.
I brought to an acoustic firm in, and they put in kind of that baffling, you know, that you have when you go into a soundstage.
Yeah.
Because I had to memorize these things, and I was so fear-based that they were going to write everything for somebody else. I'm like, no. I was so competitive with the executive producer, Bill Lawrence. I was like, I don't care. Put whatever you want. Put the Manhattan directory in. I'm going to memorize it.
got it, right.
I don't give a hoot.
Right.
And so I had everything soundproofed. And the reason I did it is because one person brought their dog to work. This is early,
It wasn't
early
me.
on,
It wasn't me.
because we shot on
sounds
we
brash.
shot on 1 and 2. Then the dressing rooms were on 3.
Yeah.
And we also shot on 4.
Right.
So if you got to bring your dog to work, then he got to bring his dog
course,
to work,
fair.
and soon there was a pack of
Oh.
feral little.
It was like they were. It was like a. It was yeah.
It was horrible. It was about 30 dogs.
If it went down, if it went down, those dogs would eat forever because we were
Right.
there for them
you,
to attack
You would
us.
be feasting for.
Yeah.
And so I wrote a letter to Disney's what do you call it, HR? What's when you, and I didn't
You, could
press.
play, but you did or you did
I didn't
not?
press send, because the rule on angry letters is you put it in the drawer for 2 days
Right.
and you don't press send. And I'm glad I didn't, because one bit somebody shortly after that.
And the dogs.
And
were
that
gone.
was it. Disney was like, "You're bringing your dogs to work?" Because it was like Scrubs University,
Right,
right?
right,
Yeah, it was.
It was complete anarchy. We were in a deserted hospital in Valley Village, which is right next to Burbank. And we had our way for
Yeah, we did put
8
it-
years, and then we
then 9.
moved on year 9. We moved over to Culver City.
Culver City.
Well,
And that was just you and me for the whole, pretty
Yep.
much the whole thing. Yeah, we had a good time.
I still don't think it's worth it. If you sent the email, maybe, I mean, did the person die that was bit? I mean, you could have saved a life.
No, but people, you know, there's 2 schools on dogs. There's people who love them more than their children,
Right.
and people who revile them. And I'm neither. We
You're in the
have
middle,
plenty
right?
of dogs, but
You're
I don't
okay.
really care. I just didn't. The only reason I told you about the soundproofing is the reason I originally soundproofed the room is because, as karma would have it, they would congregate outside my door and bark and pee and poop
Because they knew you hated
because
it.
they knew I hated them. And so I had the room soundproof.
They can tell. They
And
can
so
tell,
instead
right.
of the
They can
dogs
tell.
sounding like this, "Arr, arr, arr," with the soundproofing, they just sounded like this. "Ooh, ooh, ooh." And I still couldn't concentrate
Right.
on the goddamn
right,
list
right.
I got. So it's just like, I've soundproofed the room, and it failed. What'd you do with your money? You paint your, what'd you do?
I didn't know we got money.
Oh, yeah.
You got money. I
That's
didn't
what
get
should have
money.
told him. They should.
No, the whole cast got it. But you guys turned one dressing room into
Well,
a playroom.
Zach's room it looked like a hotel room. He had the nice carpet. I got carpet one year. I got the carpet.
There, okay,
That's what
there
I
it
did.
is.
Yeah.
So I feel like I've got you here. You have a show called Stand Against Evil, and I don't want to keep you from talking about it.
I love you.
I love you
Oh,
too,
this is
brother.
To be continued.
To be continued.
Yes, thank
Sir,
you. Oh,
thank you for
by
having
all
me on
means,
your
of
show.
course. Thank
All
you.
right, Johnny.
Look at that.
I love you, brother.
Look at that.
Best.
That was fun.
Best.
All right, so now that we got rid of that guy, we can do some real talk.
Can't get rid of Donald.
You get-
I only got more
can
talent.
actually-
I wasn't kidding. That's the most talented guy on the planet.
That was a beautiful thing. That was a very beautiful thing for me to get to watch. Thank you for letting me have that opportunity. So this is, how many say this is the 3rd season?
Yeah, season
The
3
third season.
is premieres on Halloween, and we shoot the whole show down in Atlanta. And I'm one of the producers on it, so we can shepherd the tone of the show, which is all I really care about. And the tone being, it's a comedy horror.
Right, of course, of course.
So the two extremes on that spectrum would be the Exorcist over here, which is really scary,
Very scary.
but you can't drop a joke.
Right.
And Scooby-Doo over here,
Right.
which is funny, but nothing's really scary. And so Stan lives right in the middle there.
Right.
And it's really hard to stay true to that landscape because you can write jokes that kind of defang the witches. The jokes are at the witches' expense, and that's a mistake. Or you can make the witches too scary and they cannibalize the jokes.
And then nobody wants to laugh when they're too terrified.
And so, you know, we go to these Comic-Cons and we have these Q&As with a room of a couple thousand people, which is thrilling. But what they respond to is, so the tone on Stand Against Evil is not dissimilar to An American Werewolf in London, which was on when we were growing up.
Yeah, those are the John Landis.
Yes, and parts of that are really funny, and the werewolf in that is super scary.
The transformation scene is like terrifying.
Right, when we were growing up, that was
like
as
the
scary as
craziest
it
thing I've
gets.
ever- oh, absolutely.
I'm sure now there's scarier things, blah, blah, blah.
But the fun
that,
is it looked real. Like that's what, like it wasn't a
100%.
computer effect. It was like it really, it was a makeup
the
thing.
claw grew out right before your eyes.
Okay, now I'm actually like.
And that's what we try to do with the witches. We try with zero money. So you got to kind of make do, and we do. The writer on the show ran the writer's room on The Simpsons for 10 years, so he can drop a joke whenever you want. And Donald and I, you know, we can turn a joke. And then the creator of the show, a guy named Dana Gould, is also a horror fanatic, so he can mix that in.
Yeah.
And we do everything practical, just like mostly in American Werewolf in London. So we don't have enough money to have a green screen and then come up with a very expensive computer effect. So ours, you know, we put these great these monster actors in all these layers and layers of rubber from like these appliances, and then they come out of makeup. They've been there for 6 hours and they just hit it, and they're scary as hell.
Yeah, they are scary. I've watched the show. It's actually a little scary. I think I have a strong constitution, but I do get freaked out a little bit. We only have a little bit of time. I want to ask you. You had such this wide career, all of these things. But I always wonder. You've done all of these movies, but like 3 of your first 4 movies, and like a large number of movies, were Oliver Stone movies.
Yeah, I did 6 with Oliver. I'm the only one to do 6.
Yeah, that was it.
I was cast in Platoon, and as a tiny little role when it was first going in 1984. And then the funding went away, and it went belly up for 2 years. And then I was doing Hamlet over at the Public with Kevin Kline. It was a big, important Hamlet. And Oliver calls and says, "McGinley, we have the money, and you can play the 4th lead. Do you want to go to the Philippines?" And I'm like, "I would love to, but I'm in Hamlet over at the Public." And once you got in that fraternity/sorority over at the Shakespeare Festival, any New York actor would tell you, Donald, back in the day, you would never, ever do anything to jeopardize where you stood in that sorority/fraternity. And I wouldn't either. And so he said, "Go ask Joe, Mr. Papp."
Right,
like,
yes.
"Oh, I'm so sure I'm going to call Joe Papp Joe."
Right.
And so I asked somebody to arrange a meeting for me and Mr. Papp, and I went in, and it was tantamount to going in to see The Wizard and The Wizard of Oz. And he's like, "Oh, you know, he had a burner, and he was this guy." And I went in and I said, "Oliver Stone." He goes, "How's Ollie?" I'm like, "You people all call yourself by your first names. What happened to Mister?"
Yeah.
And so he goes, "Yeah, go, Mac. We'll do Hamlet again," which was code for "You're okay
Yeah,
here."
right. We will not blast you.
And he didn't. He put me in talk radio. And
Talk Radio is an incredible movie, by the way.
but I did the play. I originated.
Yeah, I
the
know. It's
play.
a Bogosian play, right?
And we were doing talk radio on Wall Street. I was doing the play at night, and we're down here. I was over at the Woolworth building during the day. And so Mr. Papp was good to his word. And the minute I dropped out of Hamlet, 2 weeks into rehearsal, there was a revolution in the Philippines.
Oh,
so the
yeah,
film was then
that's-
canceled for a couple of
always
months.
nice.
I lived in a funeral parlor on Sullivan Street, and I'm sitting in the funeral parlor watching CNN, and there's a revolution, and Kevin's Hamlet opens, and it was the most important Hamlet on these shores, and I'm like, biggest donkey loser on the planet. You, John McGinley, look yourself in the mirror and say these words. You suck, John. You suck. And so then
But
we
you
go over and
don't.
we shoot it, and we come back, and the big hit when we came back was Top Gun, which Platoon, there's nothing,
They're not. They're different.
that was
universes
kind of a
altogether.
Reagan era
Yes.
war movie. And then we find out that Oliver's going to release Platoon at Christmas, and I'll tell you, nothing says Christmas like Platoon.
Yeah, like that. Yeah.
And so we were like, great, wasted our time in the Philippines. Super.
And then no one ever heard from anyone again.
Yeah, but that cast. My friend Paul Sanchez just did a documentary about the making of Platoon called Brothers in Arms, and I've seen it a couple times. It's astonishing. I don't know when it comes out, but all the actors who were in it, from Johnny Depp to Willem to everybody, came and kind of gave their oral history of what it was like getting cast in that film, like I just told you, and then what it was like shooting it. And you can't turn it off. I love making of documentaries.
They're the best.
And Paul's is really good.
Well, I'm sorry we had to cut it short on this, but you got to come in and see Donald. You had somebody come in and see Donald, and it was just...
Donald's my brother from another mother. That's a fact.
Absolutely wonderful. So the show is Stand Against Evil, third season, Halloween night on IFC.
Yes, sir.
By all means. Okay, well, thank you for coming and hanging out with me and Donald Faison. That was so fun. They danced. It was beautiful. Thank you for coming by. Come back to SI.TV for future shows or wherever your Will Leitches are sold. John C. McGinley was right there hanging out with Donald Faison. That was great. Thank you. Bye.